Which expression is equivalent to the above difference? All right, this is going to be fun. So we're adding these two, I guess we could say, rational expressions. And whenever you add any expressions like this, if you add any fractions, you would want to have a common denominator, and the same thing is true over here. And so one thing we can do is, let me actually see if actually let me rewrite the whole thing. So 3 over x squared plus 5x minus 24 minus 7 over x minus 3. Now, instead of, what I guess the brute force way is to just multiply the denominators and say, okay, that's going to be a common multiple, but there might be a cleaner way of doing that, especially if x minus 3 is one of the factors of this. So let's see if this is. So let's see. Negative 3 times positive 8 is going to be negative 24. And the negative 3 plus positive 8 is positive 5. So this actually can be factored into x plus 8 times x minus 3. This is what this thing is. And if this step looks unfamiliar to you, I encourage you to watch the video on factoring quadratic expressions. But what's neat about this is now we say, okay, look, to have the same denominator here, we just have to take this fraction and multiply the numerator and denominator by x plus 8. So if you multiply the denominator by x plus 8, then these two denominators are equivalent, but I can't just multiply only the denominator by x plus 8. I also have to multiply the numerator times x plus 8. And so what does this simplify to? This is going to be equal to 3 over x plus 8 times x minus 3 times x minus 3, and then minus, and actually let me distribute the 7, minus, remember we have this negative sign out front, so it's going to be minus 7, actually let me just write it this way first, minus 7x plus 56 over x plus 8 times x minus 3. If I was really under time pressure on the SAT, I wouldn't probably do all of these steps. I would try to cut to the chase a little bit faster, but this is hopefully so it helps us understand things. And so this is going to be equal to, we have our common denominator, x plus 8 times x minus 3. So it's going to be 3, and we can distribute this negative sign, minus 7x minus 56. So it's going to be equal to, let's see, we could write negative 7x, and then 3 minus 56 is minus 53, or negative 53. And x plus 8 times x minus 3 we already established is the same thing as x squared plus 5x minus 24. And that's exactly this choice right over there.